나 CF3. Passengers transferring to the subway, please change trains here. The doors on the right side will open. Please refrain from touching the doors and wait for them to open.
75年以下だったら2倍と一緒だな。